Lauren. Okay, one more minute and then we'll get started with breath work, and then, oh, that'll be amazing. I think it's been a couple of years since I went hiking. Have they hiked before, Laura? So cool. Did you end up carrying anybody, or they went on their own? Lauren, if you raised goats, I would ask for videos every 5 seconds. Okay, I'm going to trust that everybody's here. So let's just get started. You know the trajectory of the sessions. I start with breath work, then we do a little bit of a body scan. And then today, like I promised, we're going to roll into, wow, yeah, hi Niels, yeah, do it, please, Lauren. But anyway, we'll go back to reminder. So all of our sessions going forward will be under the tradeanchors.com. And then you log in. Again, nothing is held. Your information isn't held. It's stored locally on your own computer. So you click on tools, go to markets and mindset, and then it should pop up, and I'll just continue to stack the sessions so you'll have reference and you can jump in and practice on your own and navigate on your own. And obviously there's other tools that you can use as well. There's a whole slew of them, but for our purposes on Wednesdays, for our sessions, it's under markets and mindset. And so today we're going through loving kindness, but I'll get to that momentarily. Let's just get started with our breath work. So wherever you're at in your seat, if you're lying down already, or you're seated in your chair or on the ground or on a bolster, whatever the case may be that allows you to be the most comfortable in your space, go ahead and get yourself situated. So what does that mean? So lean back just a little bit so you can stack your shoulders over your hips. Because as I've always said, and I continue to say, as we focus in on what we're doing, we tend to lean forward. So tilt back, roll your shoulders down away from your ears, and relax your arms. Let your arms rest either by your side or on your lap, palms face up to receive, palms face down to ground. And then if you didn't understand me last week, go ahead and just gently align your neck to stack on top on the same plane as your shoulders. So sometimes we have to just lean our heads back a little bit and tilt our chins down, so that you get that straight line from the crown of your head all the way up and all the way down to your root, to your feet. And then close your eyes. And today, if you have yet to close your eyes, I'd give it a try to really just take away the sight sense. So, you know, I don't know how you've traded today, but for me, I was just so intent on watching the screens and the volume and the numbers that my eyes are tired already. Full knowing that we have FOMC and we have expiration and still the Iran war, all that, and what's happening. So I was a little off. So close your eyes. And let's just take a deep breath in through the nose. And just notice where the breath goes immediately. So sometimes it'll go right to your heart center. Sometimes it'll go deeper to your diaphragm. Sometimes it'll go straight to your belly. And in this space, as we continue to do this work, it's best to come from a non-attachment, non-judgment space to practice, so it doesn't so we can allow that sensation to transfer into our trading. So lack of judgment, lack of attachment to outcome. Just keep working on your breath. So exhale out. Take 3 more. So inhale through your nose. And how deep can you get your breath to go? Can you get it into your hips? And exhale it out. And inhale, can you get it all the way to your knees? And just notice, maybe you're only at your belly, and that's the deepest you've gone as far as your breath work goes today. And that's good enough. And exhale that out. And 1 more, breathe in. All the way to your toes, if you can make it there. And then exhale it out. And with your eyes closed, just notice any differences in the tension that you were carrying before we started. Maybe less tension, maybe you didn't even know you had tension, and this allowed you to tune in to the tightness within your body and let it go, just by using your breath. And as we worked before in the different planes, let's work with all the planes of the body today. So as we do somewhat of a body scan and check in. So let's start with the top half of your body. So we're going transverse plane, so up and below. So top half, belly up, and just scan your body for the next couple minutes. What does that even mean, to scan your body? So we just, without our eyesight, external eyesight, we're actually looking in internally and checking in. Maybe you can name your body parts or your organs like we've done before. And just notice, are you carrying more tension in your upper body, less tension in your upper body? Do you feel kind of neutral? This is just all about staying in the present moment and checking in to where your awareness is. And then let's go to the bottom half of the body. So if you were to, belly button up, belly button down, check in with your body there. Do your legs feel lighter? Are they feeling heavy? They're feeling good. Do your hips feel even? Do you feel like there's energy where you need to rotate your ankles? Sometimes that happens where you're just intuitively, you need to, now that you're focusing on the energy within your body, just rotate a little bit, move a little bit, no right or wrong. If at any point in this practice you feel uncomfortable with how you've settled yourself in, then go ahead and change it. Move around, readjust, get yourself in a better space so that you can really, really take a moment to just be. What came before this, what will come after, but actually honor the next 45 minutes for yourself. And then let's work in the sagittal plane. So left side of the body, right side of the body, as if the body was just split down the center. Let's tune into the left side first. So while it's the same body and just we're tuning into different planes, do you notice anything different? Is this more dominant side? Are you left-handed or are you ambidextrous? Do you carry more stress on your left side? And sometimes when we focus on the body and/or in this practice of meditation and presence, you'll need to take an additional breath. That's just a release, and that's perfectly a-okay. So honor that and thank your body for that. And perhaps when you're scanning your body on the left side, from the crown of your head all the way to your toes, on the left side only, maybe there's a muscle that starts twitching. Just saying hello and thank you. You can release some of that stress. Maybe breathe into the muscle. And go ahead and switch to the other side on your right side. So perhaps your right side, you're right-handed, and this is your dominant side. And quite often when we're trading, we use a lot of our right side. And just notice what's going on with your upper arm, your elbow, your forearm, your wrist, the whole thing from the crown of your head all the way to your toes on the right side. And notice any similarities and/or differences between the two sides. No judgment, non-attachment. Just allow the awareness to come in. And for our last body scan, we'll work with the coronal plane, so front and back. So imagine if there was a plane of glass that just kind of sliced our bodies right down the middle. And to reinforce that, our body is a 360-degree entity. So we're working with all sides, and you may, again, it's the same body, but you may notice something different when tuning into the different planes. So focus on your frontal plane. You can focus on your face, your eyes, your forehead, your smile lines, your jaw, even your ears, your neck. And just notice as your breath just toned down and calm, as you just tune into the front side of your body. And now we'll tune into the back side of your body. So the back of your head. And perhaps you've never even tuned into the back of your head before. And then when you do, immediately your hair and your scalp just kind of drops in a sense of calm and relaxation. And you could feel it as your forehead relaxes when you tune in, you know, what that snowball trickle down effect is with the body. And can you drop your shoulders, the back side of your shoulders, even further down your back? Perhaps you've created more space. Mid back, the lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings, behind the knees, the calves, backs of your ankles, your heels, perhaps even the bottoms of your feet. Now that we've covered the entire body plane by plane, why don't you just take a deep breath in, fill up everywhere you can. And then big open mouth sigh, exhale it out. I like that. So 2 more. Breathe in through your nose, fill up. See if you can even fill your elbows with breath, with new life force. And then big open mouth exhale. Let it go. One last time. Breathe in. Maybe you fill up your brain space with new life force, with your breath. And then big open mouth exhale. Let it go. Awesome work. Okay, so you can either reorient yourself back to your space or just stay where you're at, and we'll go right into meditation, which is loving kindness. It is probably one of my most favorites, aside from body scans and inner smile. I would have to say this is probably my top 3, one of my top 3. This is really a work of expressing kindness, compassion to ourselves, to somebody we know, somebody we challenge, that are challenging to us, then a stranger, and then maybe an inanimate object, or maybe globally. And there's different ways to do it, but it is a round-like meditation where you use somewhat of a mantra, but also it's more of a wish for yourself and for others. And I'll just walk you through it. We'll start. So let's start today, and I'll back it up. In the markets and mindset column, subject, you can click on it. You get to meta, loving kindness. And in the beginning, you can write your 3 wishes to carry through every round. So today, let's go with, and it's grayed out, so you could just follow what I put there, and we'll follow that today. So may I be healthy, because we can't do much without our health. May I feel safe. You know, and sometimes through trading, I pick these ones intentionally because they're commonly used in the practice of meta and loving kindness. But at the same time, you know, while we're trading and our parasympathetic, sympathetic response, our nervous system is going up and down and up and down and up and down. Our body thinks that we're unsafe. It's typical for our body to think we're unsafe. But at the same time, we're pretty safe. We have a roof over our head. We're in our office, perhaps. You know, we're sitting in front of our screens. We're not being attacked by a bear, right? So I think it's really important to remind ourselves that we feel safe while we're executing and taking on this profession of trading. So may I feel safe, and may I be filled with loving kindness. Because there are many times where we don't want to feel kind, but it's the best path, the better path to take, the easier path to take, while it seems the contrary. So it's a constant practice, and this is one of my most favorite ones to practice kindness. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to repeat it. I'm going to break it out. So each round, I believe I put 5 rounds in here. Yeah. So each round we'll do 3 minutes, and you'll continue to repeat it. I'll talk you through it. You'll repeat it quietly to yourself and you'll sit with it. You'll just take notice. Again, it may be uncomfortable for you to wish things for yourself. And this is a practice. This is why it starts with the self and then ends with the self. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? If anybody to open up their eyes before we begin. No? Okay. All right. So if you opened your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. If you're still seated, stay seated. If you're not seated, go ahead and have a seat. All right. So go ahead and visualize yourself as you exist today. You can even see yourself in your office. You can see yourself outside in your backyard or in your favorite place. What brings you the most calm? And while you visualize yourself, go ahead and say to that self, may I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. I'll do it one more time with you, and then you can do it on your own. Zero right or wrong here. If you don't remember, that's okay. Repeat after me quietly to yourself. May I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. And I'll give you a couple minutes. So each round, 3 minutes. So there's 2 minutes left. You can sit with it. If you remember the mantras, great. If you don't, that's okay too. This is reinforcing positive chatter within the mind. And come back to the mantras if you've lost them. May I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. And just notice you've done a lot of awareness within the body. So even at a deeper level, what does this bring? What does this bring to your cells? Perhaps it's giving you the opportunity to fall asleep, which is okay too. And then go ahead and watch that vision of yourself just drift away in a happier place, being healthy, feeling safe, and filled with loving kindness. And the next one, go ahead and bring to mind someone that you love. Well, it could be somebody who's living. It could be somebody who has passed. It could be somebody who lives with you. It could be somebody who lives far across the world. Go ahead and bring that person to mind. And there's an option for you to type in who you're sending this to, just to reinforce the connection to the practice. You can fill it in, you don't have to. And as we begin, you'll wish those same 3 mantras to that person directly in the vision that you hold. So as you bring them to mind, you wish to them, may you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. I'll do it again. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. One more time with me. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. You take a minute to do this on your own. Still keeping that person who you love in the center of your mind space. And sometimes it's easier for us to extend this loving kindness practice to someone else versus ourselves. So this is teaching the difference to the body and the mind. And at the same time, noticing the similarities. One last time. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. Just allow that vision of the person that you love to just drift on by, feeling so much better, so full of love. And in gratitude for extending such positivity to them. And we'll let the clock run out here. And bring to mind somebody who challenges you. So this one may be a little bit tough. Somebody who they just never seem to see eye to eye with. Again, could be living, could be deceased, could be close to you in your home, could be far away. Just bring that person to mind. Perhaps even notice your body and your cells start to like crinkle up and get uncomfortable. That's okay. Take a breath. Know that no matter how this person challenges you, and maybe perhaps you challenge them at the same time, there still can be positive, kind, loving kindness wishes to the individual and to the situation. Okay. So let's start. Now, with that vision of that person in your mind space, go ahead and say your wishes. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. One more time. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. Go ahead and sit with that. As you continue the practice of this particular point in the practice is so crucial to the loving kindness that exists within your heart. So every time going forward, if you practice this, that individual to whom challenges you, and perhaps again you challenge them, just gets softer. More compassion exists and just doesn't exist so much as a batting heads all the time. Take it from personal experience. We'll do it one more time to that person who challenges you or sees you as a challenge. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. Just allow that individual to drift on by, past your visualization of them, just like a cloud. And maybe the air is a little bit lighter, but it's not as heavy as it was when it started, when you were thinking about them initially. And go ahead and fill that mind space of yours, the space between your brows, right? Visualization of a stranger. So this could be somebody who you just repeatedly randomly see at the train, at the bus, in the store, or someone who is on TV, just a total stranger, to practice just emitting loving kindness and healthy wishes to others. So remember, our energy exists within us, but then also externally. And so similarly to when a person walks into a room and you're like, oh, that's too much. Or a person walks into a room and you're like, I want to know this person. I want to be around them. I want to hear what they have to say. So just go ahead and bring to mind a stranger. Could even be a group of strangers. Could even be the world. You know, this is how big can your imagination go? And just as we've done in the rounds before, see them in your mind's eye and say your wishes. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. And take a minute on your own to say it, to see it, to emit it. One more time to this stranger or group of strangers. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. And just allow the vision to slowly dissipate from your mind's eye. And as we come to the last one, we circle back to ourselves. And in this last round, it's really important to notice any differences from the first round to the self to this round to the self after you've moved through sharing it with someone that you love, sharing with someone that challenges you, sharing it with a stranger. So now we come back to the self. So bring to mind a vision of yourself as you exist today. Post all the other rounds. And for a final round, we wish ourselves, may I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. One more time. May I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. And go ahead and sit with it on your own, repeating it the next minute. And sometimes you can almost feel yourself giving yourself just an internal hug. Not often do we get to give ourselves hugs, especially energetically, through our words and through our visualizations. One last time with me. As you see yourself so bright, bright as a light, in gratitude, may I be healthy. May I feel safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. Just go ahead and take another deep breath in through the nose. Fill up as much as your body as you can. Loving kindness, compassion, understanding, appreciation for showing up every day in your life, in front of the screens, and in any other circumstances that just, they try you and you still show up with confidence, clarity. And exhale it out. Open your eyes. Welcome back to the room. Lord, thanks. I appreciate you saying that. Is everybody okay? You can even do some stretching, rolling of the wrists, rolling of the ankles, maybe tilting of the neck side to side, arm reach all the way up, stretch from side to side. Do what you need to come back into your space. Notice the differences. Drink lots of water today. Maybe even some electrolytes. That's a lot of deep work, and energetically I could feel the work being done. So I would definitely drink some water or electrolytes, replace that. I also wanted to, after this practice, run through some questions and why these rounds, how do they apply to the desk and trading. And so for for round one and about yourself, it's like I said, it's reinforcing the positive chatter. Because sometimes when we're at our desks and we're not trading so hot and we're saying swear words and or slamming things, I mean, I speak from experience. I don't often do that today, but certainly, like I said, this has been a big practice of mine for over decades. So I do know I don't slam things anymore, but certainly the inner dialogue needs to be a work in progress all the time. You know, just check in, see how it feels. How do you feel? What you're saying to yourself. And if the things you are saying to yourself are not what you would say to a trader you respect, then certainly I would work to reframe those. Yes, for sure. This practice puts the inner critic in its place. Mm-hmm. And round two is about being content. So sometimes, you know, I thought about round two and how, you know, it's always easy to give love to someone who loves you back. I think, personally, my opinion. But sometimes, you know, while you are in these rooms and you're working with other traders and they're kind of your colleagues, but not your colleague, but you're in it together. And it's just allowing yourself to be content where you're at and where they're at. And if they find success and you're not finding success in the same period of time during that day, that you can still be and share well wishes for yourself and them during that period of time, versus allowing doubt to creep in and or pressure to creep in on yourself. So you can think about that too on round two. And then round three, which is the practice of someone who challenges you. You know, this is really a practice of being kind when you don't feel like it. You know, where you really want to say something nasty, but what does that do for anybody in the circumstance? Nothing. And especially if we want to maintain, you know, a regulation of the nervous system, it's important to embrace more of a loving kindness perspective versus anything that brings on anger, frustration to a certain degree. Those emotions are healthy too. We need to be in touch with them, but just what degree? So this helps soften them. And then round four is the same kindness to a stranger, someone neutral, asking nothing of you, right? So is there a version of the market you could treat the same way, neutral? So can you treat the market as someone? You know, it doesn't have to actually be a human. It could be something inanimate like market. And could you treat that in a neutral, you know, without resentment, without taking any kind of action that you've taken personally? Just didn't work out. Sometimes the market just doesn't work out. It's just the players aren't playing the way you would think or you would hope. And then round five is back to yourself. So after a full session of trading, you come back to yourself. Win, loss, or a scratch, which also is a win, right? Flat. And what's one piece of the positive inner chatter you can commit to carrying into tomorrow? So always a question at the end after you've done the work. You know, so I asked, you know, what shifted in the practice from round one to round five? Certainly something did. Always does. And then also, what are you taking from the work that you come here and you show up on Wednesdays, you do this silly work, and I don't mean silly like it doesn't make sense, but sometimes it's just, you don't feel like it, but you're showing up and then you get to it and you know that you're allowing your body and your mind, your spirit to shift. And so what are you taking from today's session? There's always something to take that you learned additionally from yourself. Maybe it's just that you need more rest if you fell asleep. And like I said last week, it's okay. Rest is good. Rest is a healthy space. but perhaps there's something else that you learned about yourself. Maybe you carry too much tension in your right quad. It was twitching. And maybe you'll go roll it out or take a Theragun to it, muscle, machine to it to help relieve some of that stress. Who knows? I don't know. But certainly this will give you some insight to you, yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to talk about anything related to this? Let me take a look. Yeah. So if you go to tradeanchors.com, you log in. There's the worksheet. And then you go to tools, the drop down, specifically markets and mindset is where I'll be putting everything that we've been from last week to this week and going forward. I will put in the markets and mindset. So we had last week was breathing into the body with the coronal plane and then walking through the inner smile meditation. Today was metta loving kindness. You just click on it and there it is. Good. Everybody ready to rock post FOMC? All right. Thanks so much for coming. And thanks for those who weren't able to make it today, but are going to watch on video after. I look forward to seeing you next week and have a great afternoon. Be careful, be mindful, and be present. Thank you. Take care. Bye, everybody.